crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Oh man, that music's gone, gone. I said crazy man, crazy.
Bill Haley and the Comets, Crazy Man Crazy from 1953, the first million-selling rock record. I wonder what Joseph Stalin would have thought of Crazy Man Crazy. 1953, the year Stalin died. Stalin, the leader of communist Russia through the 40s and early 50s, got Russia out of World War II and helped develop the atomic bomb, which Russia first exploded in 1949. This really scared the United States, who'd had atomic power since 1945. We did not realize that Russia was that far along with their atomic plans, and this really kicked off the Cold War. The Cold War that really helped shape the feeling of the 50s. We had this big black cloud hanging over our heads all through the 50s, worried about communism, worried about the atomic bomb, nuclear war. Chairman Mao of China. China became communist after World War II. Chairman Mao ruled China through the 50s and 60s. Both Stalin and Chairman Mao killed tens of millions of their countrymen. Tens of millions of their countrymen were killed by Chairman Mao and Stalin. Nobody knows for sure. 30 to 40 million in each country. Just brutal, ruthless rulers. Sputnik, 1957, under the watch of Nikita Khrushchev, who became premier of Communist Russia in 1953. Under Khrushchev, Russia joined the space race and sent Sputnik out into space. Sputnik was a communications satellite sent up in space to orbit the Earth. It was pushed up into space by a rocket called an ICBM, that's Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. This was very important because it showed the world that Russia could deliver nuclear warheads to the United States if they wanted to through these ICBMs. 1957, Sputnik, Nikita Khrushchev. Nikita Khrushchev was quite a character, led Russia from 53 till 64. I have vivid memories of Nikita Khrushchev from when I was a child, a young person. Here's Nikita banging his shoe. You'll see his fine leather loafer. He got so angry and frustrated at American imperialism here at the General Assembly of the United Nations that he took off his shoe and began banging it against the gavel. Let's see a bigger picture of Nikita there. There we go. Nikita Khrushchev. And now we have Nikita versus John F. Kennedy. Kennedy, who was our president, 60 to 63. He was shot in 1963. John F. Kennedy facing off over the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. Khrushchev put their ICBM missiles with nuclear warheads into Cuba in 1962 with the help of Castro, who was running Cuba, of course, Fidel Castro. 90 miles south of Florida, nuclear weapons, and also helped along by Che Guevara, revolutionary Che Guevara, who helped set up the communist government in Cuba. Sorry, we've cut off Nikita's face here, but here we see Fidel Castro and Nikita Khrushchev. Fidel on the left of Cuba, Nikita Khrushchev of Russia on the right. Finally, we come to, not finally, but now we come to Che Guevara, revolutionary, very important pop culture icon. This picture is considered the world's most famous photograph. Che Guevara was born in Argentina in the 20s, became a doctor, but then traveled extensively through South America. There's a movie, The Motorcycle Diaries, about Che Guevara's journeys. The Motorcycle Diaries. Rent it today. Later he went to Cuba to help Fidel with the revolution, and then he went to both the Congo and Bolivia to help set up revolutions there, but was largely unsuccessful, was killed by the Bolivian government with help by the CIA in Bolivia in the 60s. Che Guevara, if you've ever seen Rage Against the Machine, the band Rage Against the Machine, they're very influenced by Che Guevara and the revolutionary concept. Communism as pop culture, the beret, the star, the photo. Here's Che Guevara with Castro. Che on the left, Castro of Cuba smoking his Cuban cigar on the right. Finally, we come to the Berlin Wall. In 1961, Russia constructed the Berlin Wall with the help of the East Germans. East Germany was communist, West Germany was free. This way, the East Germans could no longer leave their country. They were trapped in their country and could no longer leave. In 1987, Ronald Reagan said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." And indeed, 2 years later, 1989, the wall came down. The wall came down and essentially ended communism, which was a huge cloud that hung over our heads through the 50s and 60s.